You work for a medium to large size company that is in the market for a new phone system. And Teams Phone is one of the options that you're considering. But you're wondering, how does the cost of Teams Phone compare to the other competitors in the marketplace, like RingCentral or Zoom Phone or Cisco webex or 8x8 or any of the other major vendors out there? You're wondering, is Teams Phone less expensive than all of those? Should we go with Teams Phone because it is the least expensive option? Well, my name is Mike Smith. I'm the president of AeroCom. Let's put our heads together on this. But first, if you'd like a shortcut and you just like to talk to me and ask me my opinion on which phone system your company should be quoting, or which Operator Connect vendor for Teams Phone your company should be quoting, reach out and contact me. Send me an email, give me a call. I've been doing this for over 20 years. It won't cost you a thing. And I work with all the vendors in the marketplace. I'm a broker for all the major vendors out there. I can definitely help your company make a lot better decision in a fraction of the time. For more information on how that works, wait till the end of the video. I'll explain it then. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because if you do that, you won't miss any of my weekly videos that I put out. Hit that little bell button so you're notified when my new videos come out. And as always, go check out our website, aerocominc.com. It's a pretty cool website. You can read reviews on providers, write reviews on service providers, search service providers by features, all kinds of cool stuff. So go check that out too. Okay, so is Microsoft Teams phone system less expensive than the other major competitors in the marketplace? First, why medium to large size companies? Well, that is the size companies that I typically work with, so that's where my expertise lies. If you are a small business, then there might be other factors that factor in that I just don't see on a regular basis, so take whatever I say in this video with a grain of salt. The first question we want to ask is which Microsoft 365 licensing does your company have today? That will be a big factor in determining if Teams phone system is going to be more expensive or less expensive than the competition. So if your company currently has a Microsoft 365 E5 license, if all of your employees have an E5 license, then the answer is yes. Microsoft Teams phone system is likely the least expensive option compared to all the competitors in the marketplace. Why is that? Well, that's because all Microsoft 365 licenses other than E5s, so I'm talking about Business Standard, Business Premium, E1, E3, or the equivalent of those in education or government. I know it's like an A1 or an A3 or a G or something like that. So all the licenses other than an E5 do not come with Teams Phone Standard. And Teams Phone Standard is the add-on that you need in order to make Teams phone system work. It's an add-on for Teams. So it's an add-on license, and that license costs around $10 per month per user. E5, however, includes that Teams Phone Standard license. So you don't have to pay that extra $10 per month per user. You're already paying for it in the elevated price of the E5 licensing. So in that case, the only additional cost your company needs in order to have Teams phone system is you have to pay for a calling plan for every user. And if you've watched any of my other videos on Operator Connect, you'll know that a calling plan is only going to cost your company around $2 per month to maybe $6 per month per user at the most. Therefore, getting Teams phone system is only going to cost your company $2 to $6 per month per user, more than you're paying today for your 365 licensing. If your company has an E5 license, and you're going to have a really hard time finding a cloud phone system for $2 per month per user. $6 per month per user, you might find some. If your company has thousands of users, you might be able to negotiate some pretty low pricing, so that might be close, but probably not. Probably, if you have thousands of users, you're probably going to be paying $2 per month per user, because the price ranges for calling plans for $2 per month per user up to around $6 per month per user, depending on the number of users you have. and depending on how many of those users are actually on the phone simultaneously. If you have thousands of users, chances are you're only going to be paying around $2 per month per user for a good calling plan with Operator Connect. Again, watch my other videos I've done on Microsoft Teams phone system pricing or Operator Connect. Any of those will tell you more about that. So point is, if your company has an E5 license, a Microsoft 365 E5 license today, then yes, Teams phone system is going to be less expensive than any of the other options out there like RingCentral, Zoom Phone, Cisco webex, 8x8, all the other vendors out there. Now, there are some exceptions. So if your company needs to add some extras like compliance call recording, things like that, that could really drive the price up quite a bit per user. So that might negate everything I just said. So if your company has some extra add-ons, even if you have an E5 license, those add-ons with Teams phone system can really add up. They can be pricey. For instance, compliance call recording can be $15 to $25 per month per user. And therefore, you really open up the competition again to other vendors out there who might be more competitive on those things. But if you have any questions on that stuff, call me. Again, get my advice. I'm happy to help. Now, as you might be able to extrapolate from what I just said, if your company does not have Microsoft 365 licensing that is E5, so meaning that your company has business standard, business premium, E1 or E3 or the equivalents of those in education or government, then actually Microsoft Teams phone system is going to probably be more expensive than any other option out there, especially for medium to large size companies. Now, why do I say that? Well, let's do the math again. So if your company does not have an E5 license, that means your company has to pay both pricing components of Teams phone system. That's the licensing add-on that I mentioned earlier that's going to cost you around $10 per month per user in order to get all the features that you need in Teams to have Teams phone system, like a dial pad and so forth. And then you also need a calling plan for every single user. Remember I said the calling plan is going to cost around $2 per month per user to around $6 per month per user, depending on how large your company is, depending on how many folks are on the phone simultaneously, all that good stuff. So that means in total, your company is going to pay anywhere between $12 per month per user to $16 per month per user for a medium to large size company. Now that, for a medium to large size company, is not that competitive compared to your other options out there from all those other competitors that I mentioned. It's at the very least going to cost you the same. It's definitely not going to save you money to use Teams phone system. At the very least, it's going to be equal to all the other vendors out there. In a lot of instances, it's actually going to be more expensive to use Teams phone system, especially the larger your company gets. If your company has hundreds, several hundreds of employees or several thousand employees, Teams phone system is going to be your most expensive option on the table. The exceptions to that are schools and nonprofits, government, things like that. And the reason why is because those entities get a large discount on the Teams phone standard license. They only pay like $3 and change or so for the Teams phone standard add-on, which drastically reduces that per user price by about $7 or $8. So it depends. So if most companies out there, yes, medium to large size companies that do not have an E5 license, Teams phone system is going to be more expensive than any of your other options. But if you're a government entity or nonprofit or educational entity, then Teams phone system might still be less expensive than the other options, but you never know. There's, like I said, add-ons, things like that. Just call me and we can figure it out. So that being said, I hope that helps. Teams phone system is not always the least expensive option on the table. It is a great option in some ways because The benefit of Teams phone system is if your company is using Teams a ton today, it's one app to use Teams phone system, so you don't have to have a separate phone system app. It's the convenience of having one app. That's really the benefit of Teams phone system. It's not price. That's really the message I want to convey across to you today. But Teams phone system isn't for everybody. As you've seen in my other videos, Teams phone system really lacks in terms of features and call center features and all kinds of stuff like that, integrations, things like that. You can watch my other videos for more information on that. But at the end of the day, if you're a medium to large size company and you'd like my recommendation on whether or not Teams phone system is the best fit for your business, or which other competitors are the best fit, or which operator connect vendors your company should be using, reach out and contact me. Send me an email, give me a call. I'd love to help you. It's the reason why I do these videos. I've been a broker in this industry for over 20 years. So I know the industry inside and out. I know which vendors you should be quoting, which ones you should avoid. Don't start Googling it. There's hundreds, dozens, if not thousands of competitors out there. You probably won't end up with the right one. You probably end up with one with a bad reputation or one that's not quite as good of one you could have signed up with. So send me an email, give me a call. It won't cost your company anything to use me because the service providers actually pay me my broker fee. So your company doesn't have to pay me anything. I will tell you which vendors that I would recommend. I will introduce you to the best salespeople to work with at those vendors. I'll oversee the demo and I'll oversee the quoting process to make sure your company gets the best pricing possible on the vendor of your choice. So no excuse not to at least reach out, since I do all that for free, if you're a medium to large size company. If you're a smaller size company, unfortunately that's just not my expertise. But if you're a medium to large size company, reach out, call me. I'd love to help you. I will definitely help your company make a lot better decision in a fraction of the time. Join the thousands of other companies who have used me over the years to help them. So that's that. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my weekly videos that I put out. And go check out our website, aerocominc.com. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.